Hi everyone, this is Tim Dreyer with today's Sword of the Spirit podcast. Okay, continuing our discussion of the book of Mark, we're looking at Mark chapter 5, and in this chapter we meet three individuals who each have a need from Jesus. The first individual isn't given a name, but he's known as a man who's taken by demons. And the Bible gives us this description of how chains can't hold him and nobody in the city knows what to do with this man who's just possessed by all these demons. And when this man sees Jesus, the demons inside of him just immediately fall on their face before him because they understand who he is. And Jesus has a little conversation with them and then says, "Get out. You're done. Leave this man alone." The demons then convince Jesus, or ask Jesus rather, to let him go into the pigs, into the swine. So Jesus casts the demons out of this man. They go into the pigs, and then the pigs go run, jump off a cliff. Okay, very interesting. But here's the thing though, this miracle just happens, and the man who's been set free is elated. I mean, this man is just praising God, and he wants to follow Jesus, follow along Jesus. The people, however, in the town are terrified, and they say, "No, we don't want anything to do with this. Go, get out of here." And sometimes people respond that way to the gospel, and it's very unfortunate. But here's the thing though, we've been given a gift, and it's up to us to have the reaction of the man who was set free, because he knows what God delivered him from. And he says, "Lord, let me come with you." And Jesus says, "No, I don't want you to come with me. I want you to go to everybody that you know, and I want you to tell them what I just did for you." How does that apply to us today? Exactly. Now, the other two people we meet in this chapter, one is a ruler by the name of Jairus, is one way I've heard it pronounced, so we'll go with Jairus. And he's a ruler in the synagogue, and his daughter is dying. And he hears about Jesus, and he says, "Let's go get Jesus. I need him to heal my daughter." And on the way, the crowds are just making their way to Jesus. Everybody's wanting to get a miracle. Everyone's wanting to get a healing. And the Bible tells us about one of these somebodies, and she's known as the woman with the issue of blood. We don't even get to know her name. She's not introduced. But there's this woman who says to herself, "If I can just touch the hem of his clothes, if I can just touch a little bit of Jesus, I'm going to be healed." And she's got this faith, just enough faith to say, "I'm going to do this, and I know God's going to meet me there." Well, she fights her way through the crowd. She touches Jesus, and immediately the Bible says that the issue of blood is dried up, and she's healed. And this is where it gets interesting, because now Jesus stops and he says, "Who touched me?" And the disciples are like, "Lord, there's a crowd right over here. Do you not see all the people?" But he says, No, you don't understand. Somebody touched me, and somebody meant it. Somebody was acting on purpose. And here's the thing, this woman could have just kept her mouth shut, and it would have been between her and the Lord, and nobody else would have known. But she says, "It was me," and she's just got this faith to say, "You know what? I'm right here, Jesus." And he makes her whole. He completely heals her. He completely restores her back to the way she's supposed to be. Her faith is what makes her whole, is what completes the act. So guys, when you're praying and you're asking for God to meet your need, to do something, have faith to go all the way, to stick with it, and just watch God completely allow that thing to unfold. And of course, during all this time, this is a holdup, and Jairus' daughter dies. And the people are just like, "Don't bother the master, leave Jesus alone, she's dead, she's gone." But Jairus has just enough faith to say, "No, it's not over yet." So he invites Jesus to his house. And Jesus brings his three henchmen, if you will, his three right-hand men, Peter, James, and John. Now, Peter, James, and John are three of Jesus' closest disciples. He brings them in, and he says, "You know what? The little girl is just sleeping." They laugh at him because, obviously she's dead. But he walks in there, and he does a miracle, and he brings her back to life. And he tells Jairus, "Your faith, it's because of your faith that this has happened." So clearly, guys, the takeaway here is, what do we need in our lives? What battle? What demons are we carrying? Maybe it's a demon we've inflicted on ourselves. Maybe it's an addiction. Maybe it's sin. Maybe it's a struggle. Maybe it's not on us. Maybe it's something someone has done to us that we have no control over. But here's the thing. What can we trust Jesus to deliver from us from today? What can we trust Jesus to bring back to life, to renew? Maybe there's a calling on your life. Maybe you're supposed to do something for the Lord. Maybe you're supposed to start a podcast and you don't think anybody's watching, and that's okay. Because I'm trusting God that He's going to use this to His glory. Well, folks, I thank you for your time, and I pray that you're blessed by this. Again, my name is Tim Dreyer. You can follow me on Twitter at Tim Dreyer, TIMDRYER, or subscribe to the video. Hit me up in the comments with your questions or discussions. I would love to hear from you. Stay blessed and have a wonderful day.